We are joined on phone by Emmanuel Wilson for more on this. Emmanuel is a chief crusader for the Crusaders Against Corruption. Good afternoon. Welcome to Newsbeat.
Good afternoon.
Great. First, let me gauge your mood on the half-yearly report by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, especially after Kisi Ejaven himself made statement that he doubts the country's willingness to fight corruption.
Well, first off, before I even get to the report, I want to re-echo what Crusaders Against Corruption has said over the past years regarding the Office of the Special Prosecutor, that this is a white elephant. It has been created just to waste the taxpayers' money, and there's no way, if we want to fight corruption in this country, we will be making any inroads using the Special Prosecutor's Office. And we've given reasons to this effect. We are not therefore surprised when over the past days we've heard the Special Prosecutor talking and lamenting that Ghana itself seems not to be committed to the fight against corruption. That is the conclusion of the matter. And so if both of us, Special Prosecutor Emmanuel Wilson, Crusaders Against Corruption, we all come to that conclusion, then the report in itself will make no difference. Because at the end of the day, what we intend doing is to fight corruption. And if the one spearheading the Special Prosecutor's Office now agrees with Crusaders Against Corruption that this is not the best way to fight corruption and that we are not committed to it, then the report in itself will not make much difference.
Okay, Manuel.
Now, yes.
There is about 132 cases that are before the Special Prosecutor. Most of them are critical cases. How does it come across to you that the Office of the Special Prosecutor is yet to bring closure to these cases?
Well, since when did we have the Special Prosecutor's Office established? 2017. We are in 2024? No, 2023. Sorry, we are in the new year. 2023. What significant improvement has come out of it? Let's make reference to last year's indices in terms of fighting corruption. And it is clear that Ghana is doing very poor when it comes to the fight against corruption. And so if there's any yardstick, the yardstick has to do with the Integrity Initiative's yardstick. And the yardstick or the statistics comes out yearly. And it suggests that we are not making any inroad. We are not making any headway. So I'm speaking based on the figures that we have. Now, talking about the number of cases the Special Prosecutor's Office has, 120-something cases. The question is, to what end? We can have thousands of cases. By the end of the day, if those cases are not prosecuted, if those cases do not go through the requirements that would deter others from committing corrupt acts, then the number of cases in itself doesn't make any difference. I'll give you a typical example. Last 2 years, Crusaders Against Corruption, we petitioned the Special Prosecutor's Office. Last year, we petitioned the Special Prosecutor's Office. We have submitted 3 different petitions on 3 different issues or cases to the Special Prosecutor's Office. I am assuming that it is part of 120-something cases that has been established here or has been mentioned in the report. Even though since the submission to the Special Prosecutor's Office, we've not received any official communication from them telling us the state of investigation.
Emmanuel, probably the office has been sidelined based on funding in order to ensure that they are able to prosecute most of their cases and bring it to an abrupt end. What do you make of that?
Very well. So that was exactly where I was coming to.
Okay.
So it is one thing to create an institution and another thing to ensure that the institution works effectively. It has become a white elephant because it has just been created and it is sitting down without the required or requisite funding, without the requisite freedom for them to operate independently as they are supposed to do. Indeed, the first Special Prosecutor came out to make reference to this thing that we are talking about now. And this few days, the current Special Prosecutor is also making the same comment. They do not have the requirement. The things needed for them to operate, they don't have it. And so if they don't have it, why do we create office that should just be sitting there, occupying space, and at the end of it, we are not empowering them to do what they need to do. We are just wasting the little resources in terms of making sure that they pay utilities, they pay salaries, even with salaries, we've been told by the current special prosecutor that his salary has come for what? How many months now? How can he be committed to the fight against corruption if he himself is not being made so comfortable to work independently as he's supposed to do?
All right.
So clearly, it tells us clearly that the office in itself has become a white elephant. And this report, for me, it is just another paper. I mean, it is not going to yield any results.
Okay, what do you make of the government fight against corruption probably since the office came into being?
You see, there's a fundamental issue, and it goes beyond this government. Why is it that since 92, when we entered into the Fourth Republic, all governments comes and tells us they are committed to the fight against corruption, but yet when they get into the system, they are consumed by it and they forget about it. This government is not different from any other past government. Their commitment, they have lost it. And the reason why they have lost it, the fundamental issue, as I keep saying, has to do with the fact that we have centralized power in this country. Anytime you have a jurisdiction that has a centralized power, fighting corruption becomes so difficult. When you put a constitution together and say that one agency or one arm of government, being the executive, has almost all powers, it becomes difficult for the government or for the country to fight corruption. And so till we decentralize power, indeed, till we decentralize power, it will not be so much different irrespective of which political party or government comes into office. But one thing that this government did right from the beginning, which got me so disappointed, and I came to the realization that the fight against corruption under this government, we have lost it right from the day it came to office, was the appointment that it made. I keep saying that nepotism is an example of corruption. And so when he created that impression, it clearly suggested that we are not going to fight the corruption as we intend fight.
All right. Emmanuel, we are grateful for your time.